Good evening. Welcome to the Medium channel and welcome to our demonstration of evidential mediumship. And if you're watching this as a video, don't go away. You still might get a message. In fact, I'm going to timestamp when we actually start the readings. I'm going to just say a few quick hellos, let the live people get their notifications, and we're going to dive right on in. Today's all about just getting messages from the other side. I will allow them to give me the messages through mediumship. I will give you the messages. We'll see who can take it and see where that goes. So anyways, I think I can turn the pings off. And let me just say a few quick hellos. And oh, by the way, yes, that's my website up on the screen. And if you are here this evening and you'd like to, actually, you may want to email me rather than go to the website, but you get 10% off just by mentioning this event if you want to get a private reading. Anyway, let me hide this for now. Let me just say some hello. So we've got Riding the Waves of Life with Amanda. Welcome. And Suzette and Bella. Hi. Hi, Dana. Hi, Jamie and Mama Bear's Love. Nick's Gypsy. Hi. Hi, Julie. Hi, Jody. Hi, Horses. Welcome, Patsy. Welcome, Carol, Donna. And Maureen and Children's School of Yoga. Welcome. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Michael. Hi, Donna. And there'll be some more. People start to get their notifications. They start to come in. But I think what we're going to do now, I'm going to explain how this will work. I'm going to grab a little water first. Give people another minute or two. Good evening, MT. Good evening, Patricia. Good evening, Linda. Oh, there's three more. Usually, we get about 60 or so people live. So there's going to be a lot of overlapping. And I'm going to, explain that. Well, let's explain that now. Well, all right. Roseanne saying happy snowy day. We had a beautiful snow squall here. It's just like the wind started to howl. Visibility went down to under an eighth of a mile. The ground got white. Then it ended. And now we're going to get winter now that it's spring. Just for a few days. So anyhow, but happy snowy day to you too, Roseanne. And all right. I think we're good to start. And you said people come, they go, they get their messages. It's kind of a revolving door when I do these live streams, especially the mediumship work. So first and foremost, only one rule: anybody that died can come through. They could have died yesterday. They could have died 100 years ago. They can still come through. Now, there's no set rules other than anybody that passed on can come through in a mediumship reading. Every now and then somebody living comes through in a mediumship reading also. But when that happens, it's somebody that's either in very deep dementia or in a coma, and they're part of the way on the other side anyways. So hi, Jing. Happy spring, everybody. So that's the first rule. Now, there's also guidelines. Like a lot of times when people pass on, like say you have a loved one that just passed on, for 3 days to maybe up to 7 days, they can still be very, very strong and come through. And then there tend to be a period where they're not coming through as much. And this could be why Jewish people sit Shiva, for example, and other cultures believe that it takes a little bit of time for the soul to actually leave the earth plane. So they tend to be very accessible very early on, and then they tend to come back. But again, these are just guidelines. They can come through no matter when they died, and anybody can come through. So that's number one. So what's rule number two? Well, that's the only rule. I'm not a rules person. That's the only rule. And anybody that has can come through. And thank you. Yes, if you guys like the video, maybe more people will chime in and get messages also. And like I said in the beginning, you don't have to be live to get messages. They know they're not of time and space anymore. And I try to rapid fire, get a lot of information. In every session, there's at least one, if not 2, 3, or 4 contacts that are never taken in the live. And then I get emails the next day, from people that watched later on, or people that aren't registered to YouTube or couldn't comment, because the only way you can respond is to the comment. So anyway, how this works in this kind of a setting, it definitely stretches the medium because I've got to be in my receptive mind to be able to receive the information, but I also need to be in my thinking mind to keep an eye in the chat to see who's taking the message. So it's an art form, not for the faint of heart, but I love doing this. This is one of my favorite things to do. So that there's that. And the only way that you're going to be able to respond is through the chat. So when I'm in between readings, especially when I don't know who I'm with yet, and I'll bring through at least 4 or 5 pieces of evidence. If you can take most of that, you can chime in and say, this is for me. Now, don't be a relative stealer. That's a John Edward term. And if you've ever been to like live galleries, there's usually like one person that can take everything that the medium says. Oh, I can take that. Oh, I can take that. But the other side of that is you don't know every single thing about your family. It's like I don't know like all the birthdays 3 generations up. So somebody could say something and I wouldn't know it and it could still be true. So that's why I say if you could take most or all of it on the theory that you may not know every single thing about your family. And this is also as a medium, I can misinterpret what comes through. I mean, they're 100% accurate, but I'm human and I'm not. I'll put it to you that way. But they know exactly what they're doing. So if you take most of say, this may be for me. And sometimes I try to narrow it down, but sometimes several people can take things. If I get the names John and Mary, John had a heart attack, Mary had a stroke or whatever. About 5 of you could take that information right there. So we try to get more specific than that, but in any regard, and that leads me to say I will get names, initials, dates, appearances, conditions in the body, all that stuff can come through because it's evidential. They want to prove it. They want to validate the continuity of life and prove to you that they're not dead, that their bodies die, but they're still not only with you, but they're still intelligent. They remember, they see what's going on. And the empowering thing about that, not only is it amazingly healing for people that have had difficult losses to the spirit world, it's empowering to know that you're not going to die either. And that's kind of the message behind the message for everybody. When you lose the fear of dying, you lose the fear of living. And if you really can own that, know that you're not going to die, then you can live your life from an empowered place, taking appropriate risks, not being afraid of change and all that stuff. So they want to help us through that. They want to help us to initiate a higher spiritual awareness. And our initiation or our awakening is a symbolic death of the old self and a rebirth of a new self. So this is to me really important work for a lot of reasons, and it's very healing. So with that, yeah, if I get names, which I will, I always do, be mindful of living also. To quote the great and famous John Edward, and if any of you caught his show Crossing Over back in the day, he'll say the same thing. If I get a name or initial, it's either who they are, who they're with, or who's here in the living. And I could say that before every demonstration I do, and even private reading, I'll get a name and say, well, I know what that is, but that's not right because that person's in the living. So, not everybody listens, but whatever. And psychic amnesia is a real thing. So a lot of times people forget things. And if I'm really getting a message and it's strong, I'm going to believe them before I believe you. No offense to that, but I know. I had a lady that had such bad psychic amnesia, she forgot her son's birthday or birth month. No, his name. She forgot his name because I remember this reading. The mother was coming through, and I got the name Eric, and she's like I don't know, and they said, well, they're also showing me like the 20th of September. She said, oh, that's my son Eric's birthday. I'm like, your son who? And she was like, oh, I thought you were talking about the living or whatever, but she was just playing it off. That happened, and as a medium, I'm very patient because I always picture myself what it would be like if I was the one getting the reading and my loved ones are coming through. I'd be a little bit nervous, right? And if you're a little bit nervous, you may not remember everything. So anyway, I trust them more than you. So sorry about that, but it's just the way that it is. So names, initials, they can come through. And all that stuff, but be mindful of the living. This is a exercise in love and compassion. Mediumship is from the heart. Basically, we just want to make those reconnections and know that we're not alone, and that everybody's here. So oh yeah, that's a good example, MT. Also, I thought I turned those pings off. Lately, Bill and Bob. I forgot those are cats' name. Yeah, yeah, but those were names of the cats. Those were valid. It doesn't matter if you get the name John or the name Zachary. It's still the names that are relevant. So, sometimes somebody asks, why do you get common names and not so many unusual names? I mean, I do get very unusual names sometimes. And I just look at the person and said, because they're common, more people have those names. So I'm going to get names that more people have more often than names that hardly anybody had, right? Just common sense. But, a lot of times people are a little bit skeptical, and with good reason. Not everybody that does this work is really proficient at it, and there's some outright frauds also out there. So I get that also. So I'm never offended by people being a little bit skeptical. As long as they're open-minded, be skeptical. That's fine. Smart and skeptical. I like that, and open-minded. So anyways, hi, Mr. Floyd. Welcome. Hi, KK. And Anna and anybody else that I may have missed. So if there's anything else that I need to explain, I'll do that along the way. And I might as well, and I'll mention this later on also, that 10% off if you mention this event. My I'll towards the end I'll get back to the website. I later on I'll let you know what's going on with that. But 10% off if you want to get a private reading. Just email us info@atombetweentheworlds.com. And tomorrow night, Wednesday, right here on the Medium channel, no, on Zoom, I'm sorry. I think I have either 3 or 4 spaces open to do trance healing with the master teacher. So there's a group that I work with. They do energy work through me, and I do groups of 8 every month. So I still have 3 or 4 openings. So again, info@atombetweentheworlds.com if you want in on that. First come, first serve. That's $33 also, just so that we know. All right, let me do a little prayer. I will need my glasses. I'll keep my glasses on so I can see the screen. And all right, so dear Mother, Father, God, we thank you for this meeting tonight. We thank you for all of our blessings, and so happy and grateful. Thanks for bringing all these amazing souls together in this side of life and in the other side of life. And we ask that you assist us in doing this work to bring some great messages through from the other side, from the realm of spirit. That's very comforting, very powerful, and very healing. And we love you. Amen. Namaste. Shalom. Aloha. And I keep taking my glasses off, putting them on. It's inevitable that I'm going to need my glasses. All right, so there's a few things. One, there's a soldier here. I get a lot of military people because my dad, who I love, was a captain in World War II. So there's definitely a soldier here, probably Army. But what I'm seeing is carrying a refrigerator. I think the first person I'm going to either just got a new refrigerator or needs a new refrigerator, or the person delivered them. But that just kind of came up in my mind. There's a W name. I want to say that maybe a name like Wayne or something with the W initial comes up with that also. Now there's a bit of a delay, so I acknowledge that also. I'm really looking for that connection to that. I feel like the gentleman coming through is either father or somebody that's father like wherever I'm going. I think there's a Joe or John. There's a couple of common J names that are going to be connected with that also. As a person comes through, I do feel like there's a breathing issue, maybe COPD or congestive heart failure near the end. It's funny because he showed me like a smiley emoji. So that's kind of a funny thing. And he's talking about England also, or like either the country England or the name England, but that popped up in my mind too. I think this is all around the same person, and so far no takers yet. Thank you, Michael, for that. So let me keep going with that as well. I know this person knows how to tell a joke, I want to say. Don't be shy, guys. I know there's a delay, but somebody should be picking up on this by now. Um, what's he doing with my hair? I think he lost a lot of his hair because he's funny and he's just kind of admiring my hair, although I have a big bald spot on the back. But anyway, so Lane, maybe. Okay, so we're getting a maybe. Let me see if I can get more information. Um, Wayne, son is John. Judy, this may be yours. Yeah, Lane's a rhyme, but I could be a little bit off on the name, but not the initial or what it rhymes with. So we have Lane or Wayne. Now, Judy, can you take a father or father-in-law if your husband is Wayne? Um, and your son is John. Okay. Yeah, that this might fit and that some reference to the refrigerators. They just pop that in. If not, keep an eye on your refrigerator. I do feel like I'm with you, but if anybody else is getting that, definitely let me know. And I feel like the person that's coming through is talking about, maybe that you need a little bit of a break. By the way, I don't know if there's a white or lighter colored cat or if too many spirits are trying to come in at one time, kind of be like a big fluffy cat or maybe even a small dog. I'm just seeing the color, not necessarily the whiskers or the face. Um, and uh, and Dad was given a beret, so this could be Michael's dad, my grandpa John. My dad lost his. So I may be getting bits and pieces. I'm just seeing Judy, my father-in-law. Okay, he had a big cat. Okay, so again, there are like double links or piggybacks. So a lot of times when I'm with somebody, they have a certain frequency, like a certain energy with the names, the dates, the experiences, and then other spirits come in. So they try to get hellos to many people. So even if they're not with you directly and you can take a lot of this, you'll definitely let me know. I'm still looking for that refrigerator reference. Still looking for that one. Because that they pop that in. I know that means something, but still. So Judy, is this your father-in-law? If you recognize that, and his name was Walter. Okay, what is Wayne Walter? Okay, so all the stuff, all the W names are around you, and he's got a sense of humor also. So and he's still doing this thing with his hair, unless that's Jamie's dad being funny also and just kind of coming into this energy. Um, but in any regards, so yeah, I feel like he's just saying you kind of take your time basically, and interestingly, I'm getting the image of a woman getting her hair done, and her hair's fairly long, I want to say. And I don't know if that connects to you. It may connect to somebody even younger that just got their hair done, and not to worry about losing your hair, I want to say. So that would might go to somebody there that I feel is saying that that's just normal. And she showed me somebody, very, kind of attractive with like blue or hazel eyes, like big eyes, that does her eyebrows, I want to say. I mean, I don't know if that's your mother-in-law or your daughter or sister, if that's you, but I feel like he's showing me that and kind of just saying very glamorous, I want to say, a very attractive lady. And Jamie, you do hair, okay? And he was funny, and he lost his hair to chemo also. All right, so I think I've got both Judy and Jamie's relatives here. Um, and no refrigerator, huh? and Michael's dad might be understanding that. Oh, there we go. There's that. So I think we're getting a lot of the dads and the military people all coming in at once, which is great because we got 50 people on the chat now. So that's really, really good. So that's your message, Judy, and you're getting a lot of intuitive messages. I don't know if you or mom or somebody here in the living, or mother-in-law, whoever still in the living, has had a few stomach issues lately, but I feel like I'm supposed to reference that and to say that good, you're better, or the person's better, getting better, not to sweat over that. And what else? Hey, I don't know if it's the name Kay or Kate or Caitlin, but say hi to Kay if that makes sense, or a name like that. Uh, and Judy said, I don't know about her wants to cut it short. I was all glammed up this weekend, and your daughter has stomach issues. Okay, all right. All right, so say hi to whoever the K name is, Kate K, Card CK name, unless that's somebody with him. But and I don't know if this person was in World War II, but I'm getting the image of like the big ships that were like stationed around like what would it be, like the Bismarck, around Dunkirk, and that in the English Channel, I guess, during that time. Um, so that could be somebody else that they're with. But I feel like saying, but have a good time. I don't know if you've got any weekend plans, but or if you're going to see some people or family. But I feel like saying to have a good time. Um, and I may be starting to switch now because they popped the name Tammy in my mind, maybe Tommy, but there's a name like that that could be living or on the other side. Um, my refrigerator that's only 5 years old has been rattling the last 2 weeks. And Michael may take some of this too, because he has a father that has lung cancer, that have breathing issues. He's a Green Beret, and they're thinking about buying a new refrigerator for the basement. So I think that's just his way of piggybacking to this energy and saying, "See, I'm still here. I can still come through." And I feel like he's saying, "You've had a big change of energy." This is for Michael. You've had a big shift in your perspective on things. Maybe you're letting a few things go and kind of going with the flow more, I want to say. Um, I know a little bit about your situation from conversations, with your job and one of your children and everything. And he was Tom. Okay, so Tom. Maybe people called him Tommy. Very good. So I think he really wants to let you know that he's the one that's here right now. I feel like your dad. I mean, I get that he's a sweetheart. I don't think he's a pushover. Could I feel like he could be tough too, but not in a negative way. And when I was saying that, he's like, "Oh well, sometimes, but in any event, um, the delay's not too bad. The delay's under 10 seconds. That's good." So anyway, I should flash this just to kind of let people know where we're at here. So this is what we were talking about earlier. Um, Absolutely, he was a man's man. Yeah, right. It's kind of like tough but fair. That was one of my dad's mottos too. He was a captain in the military, and he was very proud that his men would, when they talked about his name was George, say, "Oh, George Bernstein. He's tough, but he's fair." That was kind of like his. So in any event, and that could be Bella, but I think this kind of went to a couple different people. I think the thing with the trip or family, I think that went to Judy. If not this weekend, maybe the following weekend's Easter, right? So hello, but in any regard, have a good time, um, and everything. So I'm gonna move on to the idea. I'm not gonna get detailed reading. I want to get to as many people as I can. So I've got a lady with me now. I know the name Sally or Sal is connected to this because she popped that in my mind, at least an S name. And this is somebody that does a lot. She kind of puts her energy up into the sides. This could be an aunt, a mother-in-law, maybe a grandmother, but she's cleaning a lot and she's very animated, I want to say. And she's not the glamour queen type. If her hair's a little bit messy, it's like, so what? I want to say as well. I feel like she's saying I had multiple illnesses, but I kept getting up and I kept doing what I needed to do. Um, I feel like she's aware of two, if not three children that were around. Then she pops the number five, so maybe two of one or three of the other. I want to say like five children in total, and there's a reference to being in education also. Like either she or the person I'm talking to is a teacher. I want to go to maybe fourth grade, but I want to go into children that aren't so super young, I want to say also. And hi, Stephanie. And Lisa Marine, Tom Andrews misses you. Yes. And Bella often has stomach issues. Okay. So I'm seeing if anybody's getting this last contact. There's definitely an S name. She may be the S name. Again, Sally. I don't know. I could be getting the name a little bit off, but the initial will be on. Definitely reference to education. This is somebody that's on the go a lot. Had multiple illnesses, and more likely in an aunt or mother-in-law, or vibration is not a direct line, I want to say, but she'd still be important. There's also a baby in the living, I want to say, maybe about a year old, if that helps anybody to recognize this. There's also a lot of paintings too, so there may be an artist connected to this, or or um or that you have, I want to say three, so there may be three specific, valuable pieces of art that you had that may belong to her family, or something like that. All right, nobody seems to be getting this. Stephanie's saying possibly me, and I was thinking possibly you also when your name came up. Um, so J. There's a J name too, J A name I think as well. Let me just and we go back to a baby. So I don't know where you have little ones in your family if you do. Yes. So Stephanie's saying yes, and of course Stephanie's an S name. Doesn't really sound like Sally, but mom's name begins with S, and so Christine and Stephanie are both in, possibly. Yeah. So let me get more information. They feel again. There's something with teaching also, and this feels education. I know a lot of you are teachers, like either spiritual teachers or yoga teachers. Now this would be classroom teaching, I want to say. Uh, Linda, your mom was a fourth grade teacher. Can you take any of this other stuff? Because that's a very specific reference, and she kind of came right in with that. And Stephanie's been working with baby energy. She's very intelligent. Yeah, she feels like she's intelligent. Again, she feels like she's the type that's not gonna like acquiesce to people that easily. She's not gonna like doll herself up to please others. I mean, she'll look good because but you get kind of what I'm saying, I think. And Christina has teachers in her family also, and Stephanie's been working with number four. I may have all of your relatives. It may be that kind of a group, the group on group. So let me see if we can get a message for all of you. For Stephanie, they've shown me the butterfly around you. It's beautiful. It's like blue, electric, kind of like with spots in it. A lot of metamorphosis and change. I feel like she's saying, you know, things are very up in the air, but you're used to that. Yeah, kind of give it a year. I feel like they're saying there's going to be a lot more stability, like either in a home or a home base or a place, but you're likely to do a lot of traveling. And yeah, there's also a pull towards Mount Shasta, I want to say as well. And maybe even studying a little bit about things like the Emerald Tablets or ancient scripts or stuff like that. I mean, I know you're into stuff like that. I mean, when I know somebody on the chat, I'll let you guys know because you want to keep it 100% authentic. But I don't know things that specifically around you or what you've been up to lately. I feel like you're saying the main thing is just to heal yourself. The others that matter, they'll get healed also, as long as you prioritize yourself a little bit more also as well. Yeah, tell us. Yes, okay. So you understand that. Oh, you're living your car. Oh my goodness. Well, it may take some time, but they're helping you to find stability. So you're definitely welcome. And I'm sorry about that. So I remember when you wanted to start that school, Stephanie. Maybe it's not out of the question, and you've been working a lot with number four. Gotcha. Okay. So Linda was also in, and Christina was in. I'm more drawn to Christine. So we have teachers in the family. If it's not fourth grade, maybe there's four teachers that they're trying to acknowledge. So I think you recognize the person that I'm with. I think there's also a William, Wilbur, Will. I think there's a W name connection also there. Um, School for the Starseed Children. Perfect, Stephanie. Yeah. And so I think this is more going into Christina. Yeah, the chat is getting so active. Yeah, so we have the teachers and the family. Yeah. So what else do we have to say for Christina? Well, whoever with me, is the type that would feed you. I want to say, I'm saying eat, basically. Um, Manja, eat, yeah. And and just kind of the feel about you really starting to really come more into your own like attractiveness, as it were. That could be more of a law of attraction thing. I don't know if you have dogs, but I'm seeing it looks like puppies even. So maybe and it looks like brown and white, or brown and white dog or dogs. I don't know if that's still going to you, Christina. And so what you saying? Yes, I have. Ja was my dad, Jack Williams. Okay, thank you for that. And yes, she raised me. So that's the person I'm with. She raised you. She may not have been a direct mom, maybe more of an aunt. And you have dogs on the other side. So I think she's trying to show me at least some of those dogs. Let's see if you can take any of that white, beigeish brown, almost like brindle kind of color. I think this is all for Christine Connolly right now. And I feel like saying, expect some blessings, financial blessings that may come kind of out of the blue. And there's also somebody that's fixing things. I don't know if that's your dad, but there's somebody that kind of works on things. And it looks like the person was making, like, I don't know if it's like a little kind of a go-kart or something that a child could play. It almost looks like a horse, like a wooden, almost like a horse, or something like that. So there may be somebody that in the living that can do that she's acknowledging, or somebody on the other side. Or maybe, I don't know if you have two girls or if you're one of two girls, but he talks about two girls also, I want to say. And yeah, and so that's awesome. Yes, I can thank you. And law of attraction, I definitely understand that, my son. Okay, very good. And Christine is validating that she has two daughters. So the person coming through is with both of your daughters, just to kind of let you know. So now that we have a few new people on, I don't think I explained this in the beginning. The ground rules are: I open, spirit comes in, I give the messages. I can't control who comes in or go to people individually. But say your prayers that your loved ones come through. And sometimes they come through as a piggyback, or almost like a shadow spirit kind of following another spirit that's coming through, like what happened. And Linda, I think you were the third one in this group, right? And you have two dogs, you have twin girls. So it's amazing, how many synchronicities that there really are when there's groups like this. That I had a group with 12 women. I got the name Tessa, and a woman that had a head issue with her brain or head, and 4 out of 12 raised their hand. I gave readings to all 4 of them. There's no coincidences. Like attracts like. That's the law of attraction, right? And Hebb's law: neurons that fire together wire together. So spirits that have the same references, they wire together, then they fire together. They come through at the same time. So very good. So what's the message for Christine now? Oh, we got your message. Okay, keep up the good work, I want to say as well. Keep up the good work. And so very good. Yeah, we're having some latecomers because we're up to over 60 now in the chat. Yeah. All right. So Linda, you were on that. There's also a male figure that comes in for you, Linda. He wasn't that tall. I'm 5'6", although I think I shrank. I think I'm 5'5" now. Um, he comes up to like my nose, so he would have been about 5'1", 5'2". You're not skinny though. A little bit depressed. I think this is for you, Linda, because when I got your name, that's when he came through. I'm not sure the relationship. Not getting that piece. Okay. I don't know if you also have an education reference in your family, but I do know they show me a school bus. They show that in different ways. And I do know you're taking on a lot of responsibility. And either you were just cleaning silver, like silverware or flatware, not flatware, like forks, or you inherited a nice, set of silver from them. But they're showing me that who's ever with me, that's with you, showing me that. And I believe this is for Linda. Other Christine, yeah. Linda. So I believe this is for Linda, but if you don't understand it, you don't understand. You can let me know. May go for someone else. But I think this is for you. And And I feel like the person, like the male figure and the female that was coming through originally for you. I mean, that might be her husband also, but but I feel like they're with you, very protective, because you're very protective of people in the living. And I feel like they're saying, try to let it go. I don't know if you've been under stress from people or a male figure in particular, whether that's a partner or somebody at work or whatever. I feel like saying to just kind of let it go. The name Michael comes up, so that might be relevant for somebody in the living or somebody that's with them. And um, so you're not getting the silver part. Okay, so that may come in another reference for somebody else. The girl sees dragons, saying that might be me. So I may be moving in. Thank you, and thank you for subbing also, Girls See Dragons. So maybe you're getting blessed. And that's my ex-husband. So silver's with mine. Okay, yes. And a lot of stress. So I'm back with you. So, a lot of us are under a lot of stress. That's the nature of the world. Do your breathing, your long, deep breathing, heart brain coherence. You do that dissolves stress like that. And we're only meant to be in stress when we're gearing up for a fight or flight situation in our lives. It's a survival instinct. That's what anxiety is. It's the body gearing up for a possible fight or flight. We're not supposed to live in that, but the society and everything really fosters this. So, and I feel like they're saying, well, do use water. So maybe you respond well to baths or charging your water, and stuff like that. And I feel like they're saying sometimes you just need to just shut people up because people are driving you crazy right now. Um, two women in particular. So it looks like one man and two women. They just popped my name in my mind. So I don't know if you have an Adam that's important or an Aiden or a similar name to that, but they just popped that into my mind as well. And you live at Sterling Street, so there you have it. And I was just cleaning silver utensils. So who the persons that were coming through for you saw that. So that's a little bit of specific evidence to validate what's not tangible in your reading. And for those that came on, she was the last one that I read for. Also relates to betrayal and 30 pieces. So this is the one that I meant to. Right. And you're welcome. Okay. Um, and Girl Sees Dragons. I've been trying to get out of fight or flight. The thing about that is, and this is kind of a message for everybody. It's more of a message from spirit, not any spirit in particular. Trying to get out of fight or flight is just going to keep you in fight or flight. Basically, that's the bottom line. So what you have to do is try to adopt a different emotion or different frequency. So sometimes just doing long deep breathing. I know sometimes long deep breathing doesn't stop it. You still feel anxious. I get it. It takes practice, but the idea is not to so much focus on I've got to get out of fight or flight. Just try to do things. It's a process. We're programmed with these responses. The programming hijacks our emotions, so we behave in very predictable ways, and we have very predictable outcomes in my life. So I'm starting to sound a little like Joe Dispenza right now, but it's absolutely true, and that's what programming does. And we're programmed. 95% of our programming happens in childhood, and it's through the power of repetition, things we experience every day. Again, it's like Hebb's law. We build the neurons in the brain to house that programming, and then we keep playing it out into our lives until we change that, basically. So good for you that you remind yourself. So who's here? So it's interesting. If this is for you, I feel like there's a sister figure that's with me. Sister figure could be a good friend. I feel like there's a name like Betty or Betsy, maybe Barbara, but I know there's a B name. That may not be the sister figure, but I know that there's a B name, and very good. And so yeah, your people are still here. That's why they keep popping back. Um, so I think this is for I'll just call you dragons for now. Um, and so Barbara's for you, Stephanie. Okay, so maybe that's your sister. All right, is your sister in the spirit world? She may be trying to come through. Um, if not, somebody's trying to say hi. And the girl sees dragons saying Deborah. So Deborah's like your friend or your sister figure. Somebody either had a stroke or has migraines. And the reason I say that is I go into this energy. So she's alive. So they're saying hi and stuff and that. So the reason I go into this energy, so that's your sister in the spirit world, because I'm feeling the right side of my head. That may be around her, one of your other spirits. But this may have been somebody that passed suddenly of like a stroke or had, or maybe not so suddenly, that had well, aneurysm would be suddenly, or a brain tumor or something like that. So, all right. So, but you recognize the sister. So we very specifically, when we went into Dragon, we said there's a sister figure here. So she's here, basically. So you have, I think she's with three others, or a total of three spirits. And I think that the head, that feels like a mother figure. I don't know if this would actually be your grandma that was mother like, that had those types of issues. I want to say, um, but I feel like there's an older woman here that had like a wig. I want to say, or there's somebody showing me like a nice wig that they wore. Um, a little bit vain, I have to say, or either that, or she made her hair so beautiful that it looked like a wig. But I feel like she's showing that. So we're seeing here, yes, yes, we're seeing an OMG. So we definitely understand that. So, oh, I didn't mean to say that. Okay, very good. So they're with you. Your sister's with you. She wants you to lighten up. She's funny, but I feel like she's saying, when a girl is sick and dying, they lose their sense of humor. But but it's funny also because you show me Girl Scout cookies, and um, yeah, and I mean that could be a literal reference, but I live in Woodstock, and I'm well aware that that's also a very famous cannabis strain, Girl Scout cookies. Also, that could go either way. You don't have to answer that, but that could go either way. So you understand that? Good. So I can go right to the message for you. Well, trust your intuition. I feel like she's showing me building bridges. So in other words, you may be creating some context in your life. She's showing you running away from home, or she's showing me. Oh, you know what it is? It's the Fool card in the tarot. I don't know if you read tarot or if she did, but in the Fool card, she has this thing. Almost looks like, I grew up in the 60s, those cartoons when somebody runs away from home, they have a little stick in a bag always. And that's the Fool card. I mean, maybe you or her did try to run away from home. I don't know, but the Fool card, because I read tarot and they understand my energy when they come through. So they give me things in my language. I give you things in your language, a whole new beginning. It's untested waters that you're going into. Enjoy it. Yeah, I feel like your sister's, she's I could see her being a handful. I say, yeah, yeah, you'll fall on your face, but you'll get up if that happens. Don't be afraid of that. Basically, I want to say, um, and and there you go. So and this is who the reading's for. Why is this doing that? There we go. So she's aware that you always get the Fool card. Also, you know, your sister is with you a lot. You feel very close to her, I want to say. I don't know if she had like chemo type treatments or what, but I feel like saying you were always there for her even when you weren't. She could feel your prayers, I want to say. So if there was a situation where, well, you I think you said earlier on that this was around COVID, and that would be a situation where it would be compromising your ability to see her. She knew you were there. She felt you, and she wants you to know that. Yeah, and you're about to have all your dreams come true. Yeah, so don't worry about that. So hopefully you understand that last piece, because that was very important. All right, very good, Dragon. Yeah. So by the way, if you want to get a private reading, I'm not just talking about the person that I just read for, but any of you, email us info@atombetweentheworlds, get 10% off. And tomorrow night is Healing with the Master Teachers on Zoom. A lot of you work with the Master Teachers. That's channeling. It's a little bit different than mediumship. And they work with my energy fields and send you healing energy. And sometimes miracles happen. Okay, I think your sister's still here. I don't know if you still smoke, but she showed me the smoking sign with a line across it. So either that or she's very sensitive to smoking. But who's ever still smoking, your sister's trying to help stop. And I don't know if you have a dog that's got a fluffy face and like a beard, I want to say, that looks like maybe white or beige, that's small and cute. But if that's not you, I may go on to the next person. And uh smokes or buds? No, this would be cigarettes. Buds are okay. Yeah. They usually say, I mean, obviously anything that's an addiction is an addiction, and anything can be used or misused. But that said, you know, I, I in moderation. Anyway, I don't see anything wrong with cannabis personally. Uh, yes, a Yorkie. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to show me. Yorkie. Yeah. All right. So anyway, very good. That's your sign. Yeah, yeah. Again, the no smoking sign is specifically around cigarettes, just to let you know. They showed me no smoking, the cigarette. So, if you enjoy, toking or vaping or whatever, but not nicotine. Yeah, no nicotine, basically. Thank for that. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I'll have a second to be in my ego. Okay, second's over. I'm out of my ego now, and basically, as long as I show up as a clear vessel, that's how I do my job. They do all the work. I can only take credit for allowing myself to be open and allowing this to happen. I mean, we bonded over dogs, and I've had people. This is virtual, but I do live events also. I have people never met each other. Then both their dads come through. They had the same name. They were both in Vietnam. They both like to pick their teeth, or what. Maybe you have a male that like to pick his teeth a lot also. So that example, they wind up becoming best friends, and there's no accidents. There's always these synchronicities. So anyway, so we're going to get to the younger folks now, because there's at least two of you that have children on the other side also. And I feel like either somebody died as a boy, fairly young too, I want to say 3, 4, 5, kind of had darkish hair, very cute, or he died a little bit older and show me that. But that's either your son or somebody that you raised, I want to say. I feel like this soul definitely had a issues with things like depression, anxiety, maybe drugs. There may have been music, because I'm seeing like music and a band. So either the person was very into music or had a band. The name Jerry might be important. I mean, it could be a Grateful Dead reference, because I love the Dead, and so I get Jerry all the time in my mind. Anyway, and I think there's a a P name connected to this also. Now, these may not be his name that's coming through, maybe in the living or who he's with. So I feel like that's one. The other one would be connected to a daughter figure that was grown up, tallish, slender, I want to say. And there's a lot of prayers going out to her. This may be somebody that um, that passed. That's not your daughter, but somebody that may have been somewhat recent. Because I feel like there's a lot of prayers going out. So I'm going to see if anybody's taking either of these. Oh, your dad's Jerry. So I may still be with you then. So if your dad's in the spirit world, they're saying hi. If not, the spirits are saying hi to him. But that would make sense. Yeah. Um, 33rd like. Yeah. Do we have a 34th like, a 35th? Yeah. If you like this, maybe more people will get to hear. All right. So I'm seeing if anybody's got the younger people. Um, now. Terribly. Yes, he passed around sometime as my sister. All right. So he's saying hi to. I think he's kind of funny as well. Oh, Carrie. Hi. I didn't know you were even on. So he had light hair. Even though he had light hair, this might be you. And Carrie and I have had readings before, so I just want to make that clear. I just didn't know you were on the chat. And he's a boy, but he's a man also at the same time. So I feel like he's here is just saying, I like the party. You know that I'm here. Maybe you've had a dream or two. I want to say. I don't know if you're getting like pregnancy hair. I don't even know what that means, but that expression came up in my mind. Um, but he's so cute as ever. So very very good. So if I get more messages, I'll let you know, Christina. Your dad passed at 32? Okay, he's not your son, obviously, but he died that age. And if you like music and he was very not very thin, but if he was taller and leaner, it may be just his way of saying hi also. And Christina saying, very good, yeah. No, my cousin was 32. Okay, cousin, that makes more sense to me. Your dad passed at 56. So well, we were talking about a female, right? Right? Not your dad. Okay. We're talking about a female. So this is a female cousin. Uh yeah, yeah. Okay, very good. So, that's just something that I didn't know from our last session. I knew Carrie Sue was pregnant. Just a quick interesting story. That was our first session. This boy came through really amazing, amazing soul. Came through very crystal clear. He's naming his toys during that session. I don't know. It's very good. And then I didn't even remember this. You had to remind me when on our last reading that he said, "I'm hanging out with my unborn sister." So year later, Carrie Sue's pregnant with a girl, and he's still around, hanging out with his almost born sister. Yes, uh, Crystal. There you go. That's the one. So just backtracking, we got somebody thin. If she's super thin, I'm probably getting the height wrong because I've seen her maybe about 5'9" ish. But if she's super thin, she's probably shorter than that. Drugs, yeah, definitely drugs. I think that led to her passing, and that's your cousin though, not your daughter. So that could be why you didn't grab that one immediately. That's the mistake of the medium. She knows very well she wasn't your daughter. Maybe though, a bit of a stretch, but maybe at times you treated her like a daughter just because she needed the help. But I feel like she's like, that's not it. Just the way that I picked her up. But you grew up together, and she's super thin from drawing you. Oh yes, I did. All right. So she's giving you credit for that. I feel like she's saying, people in the living may have thought she was a bit of a hopeless case, but she's saying, thanks for not giving up on me. And I don't know if it was your father, her father, but I feel like, there's a male that didn't give up on me also. I don't know if anybody in your family or her family worked in law enforcement or in a uniform, civil service type uniform, guard or something like that. But I'm being shown that, so that made me say hello. And so they show me the number 14, then the month of September. So September 14th might be an important day. And they show me a name like Andy, Annie, and an A name, probably an AN name as well. And being an empath, we feel everything. Yes, we do. Um, yes, amazing stories I have to tell you about your mediumship with my son. All right, yeah, you can tell me sometime. Yeah, so my uncle. Okay, very good. So if anybody comes through for Willow, we'll definitely let you know. You have an Aunt Anna. She was close. Don't know her birth. Okay. That not that 14, 914 reference. That could go to somebody else. So anyway, so lots of love and hi from your uncle and your cousin. I feel like you're saying, she's doing fine. I feel like she wasn't always a happy camper, I have to say, when she was in the living. And I feel like she's like, it's like I'm back in school is kind of what she's telling me, being on the other side, basically. It's like I have to learn these lessons over again. But I feel like she's saying, but you pulled away. I mean, I'm not saying you were ever into drugs, but I feel like you pulled out of a lot of drama. And I feel like she's saying good for you, basically. and now you're able to deal with the family more on an equal level now. So I feel like you're saying you've done well in terms of pulling away when you needed to, establishing the right boundaries, and not saying it, but almost through your energy and actions, almost like demanding to be treated with respect from people. So I feel like she did. Um, and we have an aunt. She was very close to me. No, she wasn't. I'm not sure what you're saying. No, she wasn't too, but but and anyway, yes, I did at 16. All right, I guess you're validating things that were coming through and spot on. All right, so that's what we need to hear. You understand it. I don't need to know. All right, so that's good for that. All right, let's see if I have a few more contacts in me. Whose birthday's around now? Well, I'm sure a lot of you. Today, yesterday, or tomorrow. Birthday reference in the living, and has an Uncle Jack, I want to say also. Yeah, the birthday right around now. There's an Uncle Jack figure. What else? I think there might be a name like Colleen or something. There's a good name like that also. Yeah, that could be on the other side or in the living. I know that there's a soldier, probably in the army, he's showing, and the gentleman that's coming through is fairly big. Say also, there's a fairly taller gentleman, probably 6'1", 6'2", I want to say as well. Uh, Uncle Johnny, not Jack, Johnny. Did Johnny ever go by Jack? All right. If I'm a little off in the name, yeah, so your Uncle Johnny saying hi as well. Okay, my Uncle Jack passed away. Named Colleen. That's where I'm going. Here we go. Thank you. Um, all right. So hi KK. Um, there's also a mother figure here. Now, a mother figure could be a grandma. The only thing I would need to know is this is somebody that played a role in raising you, or you would feel mother like to you, I want to say. Um, I don't know if there's somebody, this is for KK, if there's somebody that you actually cared for, a female, it looks like. Probably for a good while. I want to say at least a year. I mean, I don't know if that's your aunt or if that's a mother figure. Um, but I know this person's here. She's I'll look at the chat in a minute, but I don't want any information right now. And the number 16 comes up, so that 16 reference may come for you also. Win. I don't know. There's a gambling reference also as well. So I'm kind of going off in a lot of directions. But what is it? See, there's something. Yeah. She was when she in the living, her body, not a skinny person. I wouldn't call her obese or fat, but she definitely had a a figure. I want to say you're not always a happy camper, but somebody that you could rely on and that you could bond with. I don't know, if you, KK, here in the living, take care of people, if that's part of a job or that's something that you do. But that comes up for me. So now I'll look at the chat, see if you understand any of this. Yeah, so I thought this was a grandmother. Yeah, so grandmother lived with us. She had lung cancer. Yeah. Um, well, she was the luckiest gambler. She always won, from what I've been told. Yeah, that kind of that's law of attraction. You can become the frequency of money and have really good luck with it. It's fortune, not luck. There's a difference. Yeah, we create our own luck, basically. So I feel like she's around you and just kind of just sort of really saying, I'm just enjoying the show. She may have smoked at one time and gave it up. Um, I feel like she probably liked roulette because I've seen the roulette wheel, but maybe you don't know that. Plump before she got sick. I think plump's a good word, but don't call her that to her face. She always said, "I'm just large. I'm not plump." She'd say something like that. I'm just bigger, but obviously she lost a lot of weight. And I feel like she's saying that she's the luckiest woman alive, not just because she won in gambling, but she hit the jackpot when it came to people in her life. And I feel like she's saying, when I got sick, she showed me a deer also. Maybe somebody was a hunter that's around her also. And she's saying, when she got sick, she could find gratitude. She found, I mean, she may have been religious a little bit. Because I'm here, I could find peace in the Lord, basically. Because I feel like I'm praying also. There may also be a name like Betty, too. since did smoke, and if she likes roulette, no wonder why I like it. Well, that may be for you also. So hopefully, some of this other stuff makes sense also. But whatever her version of spirituality or religion, I feel like she's saying she found some peace in that during the time when she was sick, and knowing, no knowing knowing that she was going to cross over, basically. And she's kind of saying, yeah, there you go. I'll take that as a reference, and I feel like. So I think she's trying to describe more her last day than the whole process. But I feel like she's saying it's more than that. I feel like saying I had faith. Um, and she may not have been the church lady, but I think she would pray, and I think that's the message of the living. And of course, I'll have to quote, and I'm talking about Jesus now in the Bible. There's a little passage in the book of Mark. I think it's 11:24, but it could be 24:11. And I posted a YouTube short about this twice now because it's so freaking cool. Because in this passage, one of the lines is, whenever you pray for something, feel like you already have it and it shall be yours. Jesus did teach the law of attraction. Yes, he did. And that's how the Native Americans, they also, um, and you're saying my mom woke up hearing talk to somebody, and she said she's talking to Jesus, then she fell asleep and passed. That's such a beautiful, dignified passing. I have to say that's just really amazing. This and yeah, again, you just say I hit the jackpot. My passing was amazing. My life was amazing. My family was amazing. And sure, there were difficult people. There always are. There are challenges. I've been to say, but challenge. It's not a bad thing. We have a challenge. We figure it out. We get smarter. We get better, and then we help other people. Do you know who David is? Maybe Daniel, because I get those names confused. I feel like that would be somebody special to her. If you know who that is, it may be somebody in the living. I feel like that'd be somebody special. It could be someone that she's with also on the other side. Anyway, let me see if I have one more in me. So I got the two young people, and I got the takers for them. Good. I can tell I'm winding down. I start to feel it. All right. Jail. Okay. There's either the next place I'm going. Either somebody's incarcerated, or they were. It could be in the living, or they were, or works in corrections, or works in correction. I think the name Jim or Jimmy is going to come into this energy. Okay, somebody's here. I want to say as well. They show me monopoly, which could be a metaphor for buying or selling property. Now I want to say, usually I feel it in my body, but this one's actually showing me his lungs, I want to say. So I think there's a lot of damage from smoking with the person that I was with. But I feel like he's saying, but he passed from a brain tumor, or passed from something head related, but he had the scarring in the lungs also, I want to say. And he's very strong, very fair. There may be a P, I don't know if it's Peter but there's a P name connected to that. You're welcome, KK. Let's see if anybody's getting this. I don't feel a father. I mean, it could be a father. I think it's a grandfather. Actually, maybe a great uncle. I feel like on mom's side, but I don't always get the right side of the family. Oh, it's a husband, not a father. Okay. So I don't know if it's with Susan, if anything else that I said makes sense. I don't remember what else I said. Let me just see if that resonates. Yeah, there's a couple name references that came up too. I mean, names could be who they're with or who's here in the living. So if I didn't hit on his name, yeah. Oh, Jimmy, that name was important. And yeah, the connection to jails was important also. Yeah. And Jen had an uncle Peter. So wherever I'm going, and I get the lion's share of my information. Well, actually, I get it mostly clairsentiently, but I get much more clairvoyantly, and it's symbolic. So if I'm seeing a jail, that could be an incarceration or a corrections officer. So So Jen had a Peter, okay, and Susan's saying, her husband's very strong, and I don't know, in Susan's family, if that reference to jails or corrections makes any sense. Um, but there could be somebody else that hasn't chimed in yet. And one of the reasons I said at the very beginning, if you're not here live, you could still get. But do you understand that? Oh, okay. Sometimes people that I've been to already, their loved ones come back and they missed a message. So, friend Jeremy, who passed, had been in jail before I met him. He died of. All right. I think if nobody else is taking this, I think that's your friend wave just kind of chiming, especially if any of the names make sense. But this, oh, sorry, this feels even stronger to me. This is where I am. So did your father smoke, Michael? Because again, he showed me the lungs, but he didn't die from the lungs. He died from the brain. But he showed me there were problems with the lungs, but it's more like the streaks that the smokers have, not necessarily that he had lung cancer. Um, anyhow, he may be just coming back to say hi, or there's somebody else with him that had that. There's a little bit of a time. Yes, he smokes a lot. So Lisa Marie may understand. Yes, big time. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm just gonna let you know. Yeah, but somebody, perseverance. I tell people that persevere. Like I'll never give up. I used to have severe chronic eczema. Every day I'd visualize I had no eczema. I make it real in my mind. I do the diets to clean my gut. It took me 3 years. I don't have eczema anymore. Michael's been coming on every one of these, hoping his dad would come through for 3 years, 2 or 3 years. And finally, last time he came through, and today's coming through even stronger. Um, your dad is your father-in-law. Okay, okay. And both of these men can be here. I don't hear in-law or step when I do mediumship, by the way. So something that he has to tell you, yeah. And the expression that comes up in my mind is "show me the money." So basically, I feel like he wants to help you to get out of the rat race, but you need to create something before you can leave something. Basically, so I feel like I think he's pretty skilled with his hands. Also, I mean, I don't know if you are as well, um, but he's showing me his hands. I don't know if it's a daughter that you have or a son, yeah, that sometimes needs a little bit of extra attention. We'll put it that way. But I feel like that this young person would be aware of your dad. I want to say, and so I feel like to know that he's working with them and working with you also. But but I get the feeling like so it sounds like with from that yeah, even when people don't understand, I'll pass that on to so obviously you don't get that. So I have other spirits that are getting my attention, but I'm going to take that as a metaphor, not necessarily physically building something, but thinking outside the box, trying to come up with an idea that's practical, that would tap into your skills, to your experiences, to be able to make money more on your own terms. I feel like he's just saying that there's more than one way. Rome wasn't built in a day. This is, I feel like he's coming through. They're saying you take on a lot of responsibility. Maybe think about ways of delegating it, but don't necessarily let let them get you down. I don't know if you have the name Jean or Jean, like the French version of Jean, because that's spelled Gean also. But that popped up in my mind as well. I feel like the message is really think about what is it that you could start that's your own, that you can do, based on having limited time and energy because you work full time, that you can start to create. And this is really about thinking outside the box, and maybe to really look at, you study people like Tony Robbins or I don't know if you like Jake Ducey on YouTube, but he's one of the guys I like to listen to also about law of attraction, um, and things like that. So I think that that's part of the message anyway. It's your son, yes, yeah, yes. son has autism, right? Okay, so um, and people with autism are very psychic, and same with Down syndrome. They sense the spirits. Yeah. All right. So again, we have the group coming in, and we're down to 48. So the diehards are still here. All right, all right. So I think your dad piggybacked a little bit on Michael's message, but I think this message is for both of you, and I'm really completely fine with that. And Katie saying, Dad, Grandpa. Wow, that's good. Especially given the fact when before I came on, I got a name that sounds very similar to Strauss, although I forgot the name. It's an unusual name. So I think my dad's grandma, Pa. I think that's him. Who's AA Boost? Yeah, Archangel Michael Boost. Yeah, very good. Yes, yes. All right. And a divine. Very good. So I love all the synchronicity. I love all these connections. So on that note, I think we're gonna do this again around Beltane, around May 1st. It might not be right on that date. But I'm glad a lot of these messages made sense to you guys, and we got some good detail through also. And that's what we like. We like to get the specifics. Oh, there's one more. Oh, somebody that either passed or has my birthday, which would be 9/24. I want to say, I feel like there's a woman that lived to around 98, 99. It's here also. I think this is either Michael or Stephanie, one of the other contacts. That might be a grandmother figure, but she says hi also. And you're welcome. You're all very welcome. Thank you. And anything last minute for KD? Um, a secret's definitely captain this thing. Yeah, you're very welcome. Everyone. Learn more. You're welcome. Yeah. I feel like saying for KD or quickly that one of your gifts is your strength, and that you can lead by example. So do that, and maybe that you're fixing a lot of things in your life at this time. And 10/4 birthday 9/23 and 104. Okay, I could be one day. All right, that makes sense. So your grandma just popped in to say hi. Feels saying sharp as a tack, fit as a fiddle. So I think she had a pretty healthy life. Also, yeah. There you go. Very good. And so I say probably a few them. All right. All right. So very good. So it's starting to get a little bit harder for me to work. So anyway, thank you for the people that are here that stayed on. Thank you, everybody. So happy that we had a good session. Love you all. And so around Beltane, we're doing this next. What's coming up on the Medium channel? Sunday is tarot time. We had the transmissions from last night from Heather Ostara and Elaine Malloy, two very powerful healers. They did some equinox transmissions for us. On the full moon, we'll have Heather. That's on Monday. A Monday coming up, the next full moon. And on Friday night, I'll have a little like full moon forecast for you also, like the 5 things we need to know about this full moon, which is a lunar eclipse also. So these are things that are coming up. Daily short form videos. We do daily 1-minute readings every day but Sunday. So we have shorts. We're doing uploads again every Thursday. Next one's about how to make the law of attraction work. So that's coming up Thursday, and that's basically it. And right, death is not the end. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Right. And then you're just gonna work in schools. Wow, that is great. That's great to have that. All right, signing off now. Love you.